No long intro. Alright, so here's a trade idea I'm looking at. Entered inside this BISI in here. So I'm anticipating a institutional order flow entry drill, and like Michael has explained, it's essentially what high frequency trading algorithms use as, I suppose, an entry pattern. So that's why it looks like that, or at least that's what I've been told. So aiming for these relative equal highs in here, and ultimately we have a 15-minute SIBI, and that's my real drawn liquidity before we actually see lower prices. So overall, I am bearish, but for that to happen, I really want to see buy side taken the first part of the morning, and maybe the PM session we can see lower prices. So we'll give this trade some time. I'll pause the video and we'll come back in a few minutes and see how it plays out.
Let's define judgment. I would define it as knowing the long-term effects of your decisions, or being able to predict the long-term effects of your decisions.
It's funny, my definition of wisdom is knowing the long-term consequences of your actions. So they're not all that different. Wisdom is just judgment on a personal domain. Wisdom applied to external problems, I think, is judgment. So they're highly linked. But yes, it's knowing the long-term consequences of your actions and then making kind of the right decision to capitalize on that. Judgment is very...
Alright guys, I did want to point out. So we're seeing this drawdown here, but don't really worry about that. That's expected actually. We have relative equal highs here on the 1 minute. Very likely this will be taken. Only thing to worry about is time here. So time and price, of course. Within the next 9 minutes, 9:30 open. It's a wild card. I always say this thing, it can go anywhere, but in all likelihood, I'm expecting it to shoot higher. And another thing I wanted to point out, we have this fair value gap in here, this BISI, where if we do see a drop at 9:30, in all likelihood, I'd like to see a stop right there and then resume higher. And you'll see this fair value gap is also inside this bullish order block. So we can use this wig, but it's very long. You can just ignore most of it and use the body itself. So when we drop to 1 minute, you'll see, oddly enough, that fair value gap is the mean threshold of that order block. So I'd like to see that. It's already happening, but yeah, so if it does come to the fair value gap, let's see. Right about here. I would actually add 2 more contracts, and they will have essentially the same stop loss right here. So we have buy side. You can take out this sell side liquidity, which would be good, and trade into a discount array, even better. So I'm not worried about the drawdown. You kind of want to see things like that, just layering the liquidity, setting everything up for the nice move. So I'll get back to watching these markets, and I'll pause the video again, and we'll come back in a few minutes hopefully. Alright, so this is 9:30 open. Had a few of you who wanted to know how to take partials. So essentially that's how you would do that. Let's take 2, and I'll show you again. So you would right click on here, click close position, and then there's an option to close partial. So have 2 contracts remaining. You can either do 1 or close both of them, but I'll leave these 2. And I'm still at odds with whether or not the markets do want to come back lower, because we do have sell side liquidity down here on the 1 minute time frame, and we have this We have all this going on, so I think I'll take out another one. Because from my experience, it's not gonna leave those. Certainly not. Let's see. All right, so here's was our drawn liquidity. I'll delete that. Think I'll try to move my stop aggressively. Yeah. And in cases like this, I always tend to question and really wonder. Because the entry in here was based on this fair value gap in here. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell. But in here. So that's why I went long around here, expecting higher prices. But I was open to the idea that it could come to the mean threshold of this order block. The fact that it didn't, sure, I'm happy my initial idea worked. But I also did want to see this so I could add more juice to the position. But overall, guess it's some good energy. So we have some ways to go. That's why I like trading the micros. I could have had more contracts and I could just be taking partials the whole way. Alright, so here's the challenge for me is holding on for the rest of the move. That's never comfortable for me. Even on demo, it's not, and it's certainly not comfortable when I'm trading live money. So for the next few minutes, I'll really be sitting on my chair and just forcing myself not to close this thing because I really can't stand this sort of stuff. Like being in profit and having to hold longer for your target. That stuff drives me crazy, man. It's like I suppose it's a fear-based thinking. It's one of those things I gotta keep working at, but let's see if I can get that. So I'll keep holding. I'll force myself not to close it. So wish me luck, guys, and we'll be back in a few minutes to see how this works out. Seconds away, seconds away. Stuff is driving me crazy. Oh, God. All right. I want to see this stay open and so it can take hit my take profit. The volume imbalance in here. Something to look out for. Alright, I'll pause the video. I'm going to force myself to hold it. I'll just pause the video and come back in a few minutes. And if we don't get my target, I'll be livid. But it's fine. Oh, God. This is what I guess they don't tell you when you start trading. These things, as small as they seem, it's hard on me mentally. I'm not sure why that even is. Alright, so I've been looking at this, concerned about this bearish order block in here that's inside the BISI, so that fair value gap right here. I'm very concerned that the algorithm is gonna use this to take prices lower. Not certain, but take a look at our target 39.27 and a half and the high of this candle right here. If you look right here, it says 39.27 and a quarter. Yeah. I don't have any sort of OCD or mental disorder, but just things like that. It certainly throws you off because I did want to see it take profit. But overall, good trade idea. I'm still expecting prices to go higher. We have old high in here, which price just traded into, anticipating the markets to use it as a breaker. But I'm concerned about this though. So if we can trade through that candle, then we're in good hands. If not, it's fine. Stops are now at break even, so the trade won't be a loser, which is important. And I've already taken partials, so give it a few more minutes. Michael hasn't tweeted anything, so my thinking is he's probably in a trade right now. Usually when he doesn't tweet for a while during the AM session, he's probably actively managing a trade or even recording it. So it'll be exciting to see if he's taken anything similar to this. I've seen him take trades like this all the time, and this is exactly where I got this sort of entry from, inside a consolidation. So it'll be exciting to see what he posts later on if he took this same trade. So give it a few more minutes, guys, and see if we can finally get that target. Alright, seconds away from taking my stop. Not very upsetting, really. Things like that happen. I don't like it, and you probably won't like seeing this either. Market's coming this close. But it is part of the business. It is how these things work. Every once in a while, you have trades like that. So alright, yeah. Alright, guys, so that was a short execution. I did show how to take the partials for the lady that asked. I think I'll be trading for the rest of the session. Maybe looking for shorts, really. Especially the fact that this order block actually held up. So any fair value gap in here, I might be considering going short. I'm not sure yet. Let me wipe this thing clean. Reset. Alright. So we're starting back over. And this is strictly just for learning purposes and actually practicing. That's why I've been doing these daily. So don't really get the wrong idea here. I'm not saying you guys should be trading ahead of 9:30 open. Because if you're on the wrong side, a move like that can go very wrong. I was in profit in here, but if you're on the wrong side, you don't really want to see that kind of stuff happening in your live account. So hope you guys have a good day, and hopefully you find this video insightful. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and do keep in mind we have CPI on Thursday, so do be careful.